So I just got back from Haiti and Dominican Republic. I was in Dominican Republic for about a month and then I went off to Haiti for a family trip. And I can say that this trip here has really changed and elevated my perspective of my being. As soon as I stepped my foot on that land, I received massive downloads and massive realization of what is happening on our land. And I want to speak first on the root of the downloads that I got, starting with source of water. I invite you to take this dive with me.
Step into Yoni World, a sacred vibe. Wisdom and stories that energize, healing, revealing the truth we seek. Yoni World Talk Show, unique ET.
Now let's speak about the water of these lands. The lifeblood of the earth have truly become contaminated, reflecting a deeper crisis not just in the body, but in the soul of humanity itself. In places like Haiti or Haiti in the Dominican Republic, where I have journeyed and witnessed the daily struggle for survival, the lack of clean water, is a stark reminder of how disconnected we have become from the very source of life. Now, these parasitic invasions in these waters do not only harm the physical vessel, but they mirror a spiritual parasitism that clings to the mind, body, and the soul of humanity. Filthy water, once sacred and pure, now symbolize a blockage in the flow of evolution. Water, the essence of purification and spiritual cleansing, when tainted, represents the contamination of our inner world. Just as unclean water weakens the body, so too does spiritual stagnation affect the mind, clouding judgment and dueling intuition. Now, then the body is left vulnerable, not only to physical disease, but to emotional and spiritual decay as the spirit yearns for clarity, but is met with murkiness. If you really comprehend the metaphysical senses of this, the presence of parasites in these waters truly speak to the insidious forces that drains humanity potential. Parasites are symbolic of energies that siphon vitality, creativity, and spiritual power, leaving people in survival mode. Rather than thriving in harmony with the earth, they represent now this external system that invade and exploit, but also the internal thoughts, fear, and limited beliefs that cling to the soul, preventing transformation. I'm truly seeing that the challenge in such environment is one of profound cleansing and reclamation. The struggle for clean water mirrors the struggle for the purification of the soul. As communities strive for access to life sustaining waters, they also yearn for a return to spiritual clarity and flow, a reconnection with the sacred that renews the mind, body, and soul. Thus, these dirty waters is not merely a tragedy, but a call to awaken. It's a reflection of the collective disconnection from nature and from spirit and from one another. It beacons us to heal both the earth and the inner self, to confront the parasitic forces that seek to drain our essence, and to purify not only the physical water, but also the spiritual water within. In doing so, I believe that we can once again evolve, becoming vessels of clarity, strength, and resilience, flowing in harmony with the divine rhythm of the universe. Now, let's really tap in, let's dive deeply, and let's talk about the spiritual meaning of water, which is often connected to purity, renewal, and emotional depth. It represents the flow of life, spiritual cleansing, and healing. Water is also a symbol of intuition, subconsciousness, and transformation as it adapts to any shape and can truly transform from solid to liquid and then to gas. So, the key symbols, let's speak about that. We're talking about purification. Water is used in rituals to cleanse and renew our bodies, both physically and spiritually. The second thing is the flow and flexibility. It truly shows that it symbolizes the ability to adapt and to go with the flow, representing our emotional resilience. Then we have the life force. Water is essential for life, symbolizing nourishment and sustenance. Now we're moving on to the intuition and the emotions of water. This is often tied to the subconscious mind and deeper emotions. Then, last but not least, we speak on transformation. Just as water can change states, it symbolizes transformation and new beginnings. So, this shows that water invites us to explore our emotions, cleanse these negativity, and flow with the natural rhythm of life. Now, as we reflect on the state of these water, both within and around us, I want to really tap into some questions that will help us to truly see what is before us. I would love to ask you, how often do we drink from the well of polluted thoughts, unaware of spiritual parasites that deplete our vitality? And what toxicity in our own lives are we allowing to stagnate? And what is preventing us from purifying our mind, body, and soul? Now, if water is the source of life that reflects the state of our spirit, what does these contamination of these waters reveal of the evolution of humanity's souls? In a world that is so focused on survival, where is our place in this healing and cleansing of these sacred flows, both in the physical and spiritual? Are we willing to cleanse our inner water to create the future where humanity flows in harmony with the earth? Or will we continue to let parasites of fear and ignorance drain us from our potential? Well, now, I don't demand immediate answers, but I do invite you to truly sit with this discomfort, to truly dive deeper into the waters of our own spirit, and to find clarity in these depths. For it is only through this self expression that we may begin to heal the water within and, by the extension, the world around us. For me to experience the contamination of water in these specific places like Haiti and Dominican Republic, it can really be understood through a multiple layers of theory, both politically and spiritually. On one level, water contamination is often portrayed as a consequence of poverty, lack of infrastructure, and natural disaster. But when we really truly dig deeper, we find that water, a fundamental human right, has long been leveraged as a tool to control both consciously and unconsciously.
Feel beautiful inside and out with herbal maintenance.
One theory suggests that decontamination of water in these regions is not just the result of neglect, but rather a deliberate act of control. By limiting access to clean water, populations are weakened physically, economically, and spiritually, which creates a dependency on foreign aids or government entities that holds the power to save or redeem these regions. This truly creates a cycle of dependency where the very people who need this empowerment are truly trapped by the very thing that should liberate them: water. Water as an essential resource becomes this political weapon when population health is compromised by contaminated water. Their ability to organize, resist, or rise against oppressive structure is diminished. And in this sense, this contamination could be seen as subtle yet powerful means of keeping people in survival mode, preventing them from achieving collective strength or spiritual awakening. Like, what greater way to keep people subdued than to tamper with their very resource they depend on for life? The notion that the contamination is covert attack also aligns with the broader historical context of how resources are manipulated by those in power. Now, we've seen throughout history that controlling a population's resource, whether it be land, food, or water, directly impacts their autonomy and evolution. From colonization to modern day corporate exploitation, access to clean water has always been a point of contention, often regulated by those who stand to benefit from maintaining control. Additionally, Contamination of water can be seen as a consequence of neoliberal policies where profit is prioritized over people. We're speaking about larger corporations that exploit natural resources with minimal regards for the ecosystem and community they impact. In many cases, toxic waste from industrial plants are dumped into local rivers and streams, and these acts go unchecked due to weak governance, corporation, or corporate immunity. Here, this contamination is not just a consequence of neglect, but a byproduct of a system that values economic gains over human life. So, while at first glance, the contaminated water of these regions may appear to be a result of environmental mismanagement or poor infrastructure, but we must truly ask, is this neglect or a strategic suppression? I'm truly comprehending that the spiritual implication of this is equally profound. If water symbolizes the flow of life and consciousness, then the contamination of these waters in specific regions may reflect the intentional disruption of a population's spiritual growth and vitality. Could it be that those that control the water also is controlling the people access to clarity, purity, and spiritual freedom? I truly invite you really to consider not just the physical contamination of water, but the contamination of freedom itself, both in the material and the metaphysical level. This topic of water contamination truly hits home for me, not just in an abstract issue, but as something I lived through and felt deeply. On my most recent trip to Dominican Republic, I experienced firsthand the devastating impact of water contamination. I truly became extremely sick. I lost significant weight and I faced health challenge that threw my entire body into survival mode. It truly sparked a reminder that what seemed like a basic right, which is clean water, can be a matter of life and death in many places. But this issue goes beyond my personal illness. In 2010, my family heart was broken when we lost my grandfather during a cholera outbreak in Haiti, an outbreak caused by a UN peacekeeping camp. Thousands of Haitians were affected, and it was a tragedy that truly left a lasting wound in our heart. I never truly had the chance to meet my grandfather physically, and losing him in this way made me feel like I had been robbed of that connection that bridged to my ancestry and heritage. These experiences have truly ignited a passion in me because they aren't isolated incidents. This truly speaks to a larger systemic issue that continues to harm so many. For me, it isn't just about water, it's about justice, legacy, and the right to live with dignity. It's about ensuring that no more families have endured this heartbreak and loss that mine did. It's deeply personal mission driven by the pain of loss and the desire for change. In this conclusion, I see that the issue of water contamination is not just a global crisis for me, it's personal. It's a symbol of how deeply interconnected we are with the resources that sustain us and how easily those connections can be severed by neglect, injustice, or deliberate harm. My own suffering from contaminated water in the Dominican Republic, coupled with the devastating loss of my grandfather during the cholera outbreak in Haiti, has truly opened my eyes to the deeper implication of this crisis, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This passion not only stems from my experience, but from my desire to heal what has been broken. The contamination of water is a metaphor for the contamination of our own societies, our own systems, and our souls. It is, and this is a call to action, an urgent plea for justice, dignity, and restoration. As I move forward, we must ask ourselves, how can we truly restore the purity of our waters, our mind, and our spirit? How can we ensure that the future generation do not have to experience the same losses that I and so many others may have faced? Only by addressing these questions can we truly begin to heal both the earth and ourselves. I truly thank you all for tuning in and joining me on this journey on exploring the profound and personal impact of water contamination. I invite you to stay connected and join me for my next lectures, where I love to dive into more deeper, vital topics of health, wellness, and justice. In the meantime, if you are looking for plant based solutions to elevate your health, do visit herbalmaintenance.com. I highly recommend trying our good bacteria probiotics that is designed to restore balance to your digestive system, promote gut health, and strengthen your immune defense. It's time to reclaim your vitality from the inside out. Until next time, it is your Yoni Gatekeeper. Stay well and keep seeking clarity.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? At Herbal Maintenance, we believe health is wealth, and it all starts with nature's finest herb. From immune support to energy boosters, our herbal formulas are carefully crafted to support your well-being naturally and effectively. Join the thousands who trust Herbal Maintenance for their holistic health needs and feel the difference with every dose. Shop now at herbalmaintenance.com and start your journey to a better health today. Herbal Maintenance, health is wealth.